This was all the reason the name smaller. First Thursday, where be there by first committee. Hold up, so to forums, we can talk about any anything on their mind, just as the mayor, and then we also present. The chief is always with me, crime statistics, trends in the borough, so that residents are kept informed from my office personally. And we have topics each quarter that may be of certain interest in this particular meeting. Will be dedicated to the proposed marijuana dispensary, which is the proposed site is the old Citizens Bank on the corner of Gunther and Church Lane. And this generated such an outpouring of concern that we set up this meeting as soon as we can to let the residents know what we know, how this transpired, where the situation stands. We invited the owners, and they were gracious enough to come online. So we're going to hear from them shortly why they want to come into our borough, why they want the site, and we have Solicitor Gibbs that will answer our legal questions from our end. We have Director Stokes, the Director of Public Works, not Public Works, sorry, of Code, who oversees that type of application. What's going on in your borough? That's right. Oh, you already have 35 on the same people on the grow. Residents actually, they really wanted this first. So that social business, the government mandate was still the other thing is the industry reported on Zoom, so I want you to be aware of that. So if anybody reported, so we have firing, that presents firing, what's going on, what are we telling, or whatever. And questions about what that would look like. I just want to acknowledge our residents, lawyers, counselor, oh, okay. You know, yeah, can we fix that?
I don't think it.
Maureen Dixon joined the meeting.
Oh, and we have, local mayor, our emeritus mayor, Jackie Mosley. So we don't want to, she plays the trail for us as the first mayor. You still retain the title. Situated with me, and on the podium, the chief will answer this question, Chief Borough, and as I said, director, so, who else? Thanks to the management team, on the president for, this is so appreciate that. So with that being said, and we had the motion to
Join the meeting.
So we have moderating, she's sitting in the middle. There is 3 Wi-Fi cards on your table. We ask that you write down any questions that you might have on the 3 Wi-Fi cards. Answer the questions in the orderly fashion. At the end of the first part of the meeting, Ron will collect the questions. First, read from the chat, for those online, and read from. That being said, we'll always start my meeting with prayer, because in the business, that's not the line. We need so much of the guidance of I'll ask one of our police captains, Reverend Cindy, to open some Reverend.
We come to you in the spirit of unity, and we ask that you will be with us, that we direct this meeting, we submit everything to you about this meeting, so that you will hold to the success of this meeting. Have your way in this place, have your way in our hearts, because you say where there is unity, you command us. We ask all this in your blessed name. Amen.
Yeah, so we actually represented confirmed that as first to release that site for marijuana dispensary, if they could address our borough, and first we didn't think that but they were gracious enough to come on to present themselves like why they move there, they believe it will be good. Okay. Is that better? Okay. So we have a representative of the firm, and the firm is restored into LLC, and we have one of the representatives, Robert Stanley, online, as well as their attorney, Mrs. Flowers. And we'll ask for a presentation. Either Mr. Flowers or Mrs. Stanley. And thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having us. And I'm sorry the volume, obviously, in the audio was a little chopped up. So thank you very much for having us and inviting us to this to meet everyone and kind of go over what we at Restore do and kind of answer any questions for everyone. If it's okay, I'd like to give you a little brief overview on what Restore is and where we are in the community and what we represent. We, in May of 2018, we opened the first medical marijuana dispensary in Philadelphia, in the Fishtown section near the Rivers Casino that is there now, and the Fillmore Music Club. We then opened our second location in Elkins Park, Pennsylvania. Then we opened up in Doylestown 2 years ago this October. Last year in September, we opened up in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, some of the echo. And then this past June, we opened our fifth and location in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, East Petersburg, right outside of Lancaster. What we're very proud of is that we're one of the only privately run medical marijuana dispensaries in the state of Pennsylvania. It's pretty much us. I'm the director of operations, and we have our ownership team above myself. And we take great pride in that we're not a company that has come in from California, Colorado, and that we are very patient and community focused with what we do. My family, my dad's from Lansdowne area. With my grandparents, I'm a Delaware County person myself. So extremely excited to bring Restore to Delaware County. Some of the things that I'd like to kind of talk about is how, if I can start off with how people get into the dispensaries themselves. In the state of Pennsylvania, you do have to qualify for a medical marijuana card that is prescribed by a doctor that is affiliated with the Department of Health to prescribe medical marijuana cards to patients. Only then can you come into a dispensary to purchase any of the medical marijuana that we do carry in Pennsylvania. And all of that product and all the medicine that we get in Pennsylvania is from growers and processors that are also regulated by the Pennsylvania Department of Health, and they are located in Pennsylvania as well. So we can't bring in any product from Colorado, Illinois, California, Arizona, any places like that. So it's a very regimented, very compliance-oriented business. So everything from the seeds that they get to the plants that they're going to plant to the end of the sale is tracked by the Pennsylvania Department of Health. Again, we can't bring in from anything that's not regulated with the Department of Health. When a patient is new to our dispensary, we do have a consultation with one of our pharmacists in the dispensary to see what kind of relief they're looking for and help prescribe what kind of form of method that they would like to take their medicine. And then we kind of go from there and navigate and help the patient find the best options for them. Then when the patient comes in, only patients with medical marijuana cards can come into any dispensary in Pennsylvania. Not only that goes across the board. So if you were down the street and you just wanted to come in and check it out, unfortunately, we can tell you outside. But you're not able to come into the dispensary itself. That's it. So when you come into the dispensary, you do have to show your cards when you're coming into the door. Our security guard will let you into a secure security vest. I'm sorry, there's just a little bit of feedback. I don't hear what's going on.
Clara Johnson.
Join the meeting.
I'm sorry, folks, can you hear me a little bit?
We can hear you, Rob.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. So when you come in, you do have to show 2 forms of ID. We ask for a Pennsylvania ID just to make sure that the person with their Pennsylvania medical card is the same person that's on the ID. So we match that up. That's a Restore regulation that we practice within our own dispensaries. They come into the security vestibule. We double check to make sure that it is the person who they say they are. And then they can come into our dispensary to purchase. Like I said, we do have a pharmacist on staff at all times, and our staff is trained to help folks and patients navigate the different forms of consumption that they're going to take.
Join the meeting.
After they go through the security vestibule, they go into the dispensary, obviously to put either to pick up either a call ahead order, an order that's placed online, or an order that they're going to put live as a walk-in after consultation with our pharmacists and our staff. All of the purchases that are made by any of the patients are also tracked through the Department of Health, and they are specific. Everything from the barcode on the packaging to the strain that the patients take are specific to the patients themselves. So if there was something, somebody left a package someplace or something like that, we are able to figure it out exactly when it was purchased, who it was purchased by, down to that note right there. It's very like I said, very compliant and very regulated by the Department of Health. One of the main things with any dispensary that we're open, and this is a huge thing with the Department of Health, is the security that we have. We normally have anywhere from 35 to 55 cameras at each of our locations. That's inside and out, or a culmination of the two. And everything is documented except obviously inside the dispensaries things along the lines of like a bathroom or something like that. We have in the past been able to help out in our Fishtown location and our Elkins Park location, help out our neighbors that have had break-ins or anything that might have happened around their house or accidents out front. Also local law enforcement, if they had any problems with things around the neighborhood and any suspects or folks that they were looking at might have passed by the dispensary or something that we caught on camera, that we've been able to have an extremely great relationship with all the police departments and the neighborhoods that we've been involved with so far. I just want to open up and I wanted to kind of just give you a brief overview real quick of Restore and then open it up to any questions. Unless Ted, you have anything to interject, but open up to any questions about anything that people have obviously questions about or any misconceptions that you may have heard that we're here to answer and talk and alleviate any concerns.
No, I think, Rob, you covered everything well, and thank you for having us tonight, everyone. And I also come from Delaware County, 50-year member of St. Lawrence Church, and did my CYO there, and have lived in the area since 1969. So I'm very familiar with the area, Yeadon, 3 generations buried at Holy Cross. So very familiar and very protective of the area. I've worked with Restore as their chief compliance officer since 2016, before they actually obtained a permit. We worked with them consistently and constantly in terms of adhering with both state and local laws regarding compliance with the voluminous regulations that apply here from a security and safety standpoint. And as Rob was pointing out, the security and safety are the two most significant issues that the Department of Health enforces. And so the building, the dispensary that is being built there, as all of our other dispensaries in each area that we're in, it's the most secure building in those areas. Over $1 million is being put in to rehabilitate the structure, about half of which are for security systems, multiple alarm systems. It's essentially an impregnable building, which every inch, with the exception of the private areas such as the bathrooms, are covered and recorded. Video is stored. It's been used by local police in Philadelphia and in Cheltenham Township for assisting with incidents that occurred not at the dispensary, but outside the dispensary. The dispensary itself, and just a couple of things that and Rob did a great job covering everything, but a couple of things, and what we often encounter when we do these presentations is that there are a couple of misconceptions regarding the dispensary. All the packaging on the products is closed. There is no access, no patient access to any product. It's a closed, child-proof, sealed, protected package. It's a requirement by the Department of Health and is one strictly followed. 2, there's no on-site use. It's not something where somebody can get the product from a dispensary agent and use it in the dispensary. It's not permitted. And so those 2 items are critical in terms of assisting with maintaining the safety and security of the facility. But as Rob said, we'll open up. We're more than happy to answer any questions you may have. Hello?
Chief, are all the questions going to go through the messaging here? I don't want to jump the gun and.
You want to unmute yourself?
Mr. Stanley, can you hear me? Mr. Stanley, can you?
I can hear you a little bit. There's a pretty big echo.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit, yes.
I turned the volume up.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now. Thank you.
Okay, so oh, yeah. So Mr. Stanley, I have about, it looks like 30 questions here. Several people want to know how Yeadon was chosen for this location, specifically why Yeadon, why was it chosen, and why was it selected in the middle of this residential neighborhood? And do you, and the second part to that question is whether or not you have a dispensary in your neighborhood.
I currently live in Plymouth Meeting. As I said, I'm originally from Delaware County. I live in Plymouth Meeting, and there's 2 dispensaries a half a mile down the street from me. One of the reasons that we are in Yeadon is that, again, being the first dispensary in Philadelphia and having a lot of our patients that come from the Delaware County area, we have heard a need from the patients from Restore that Yeadon is a very underserved area. So they have to go further in the Delaware County where people can't necessarily make it, whether it's transportation issues or just the logistics of it. And it was something that we have heard from our patients that come from Yeadon all the way down to Philadelphia because of what we do, that we did choose the Yeadon location.
Yeah, and just adding into what Rob said, the Department of Health has certain requirements in terms of where these dispensaries are apportioned in terms of a license holder, and Delaware County was available to Restore in terms of having another permit. They weren't entitled to have another permit in Philadelphia. You're not allowed to multiply or have duplicate permits in any county. Additionally, there is only one other operational dispensary in Delaware County, and it's currently in Springfield. This area has nothing, there's nothing near Yeadon that would serve the population. This is the population from what we have looked at, and a lot goes into it in terms of patient demographics, of the 23 qualifying conditions for medical marijuana, who is in need of the product, what's the access to the product. And this was an optimal area in terms of being able to get to the most amount of patients, and based on feedback that Restore received. And again, this is Restore's 6th location. It's their last location, and they've been operational since 2018. So they've had 3 years of opportunities to get input from various communities. And this was a highly requested area to be in.
I see a couple of the different things. Any drug problems in? I'm sorry, again.
I'm sorry, Mr. Stanley, a second. As a second part to that question, many constituents are asking or wondering how this might depreciate their property value of their homes. And that might be a question for someone from the administration. I don't know if I don't know if you would know the answer to that, but okay. There are several questions about traffic and what you're doing to address traffic, the traffic flow. What about speed bumps near and around Whitby Avenue, Church Lane because of the traffic, and also. There are also a couple of people asking about other locations other than where you've chosen, specifically an industrial range. There's also a recommendation. So yes, how are you handling traffic? How are you handling traffic? How are you handling security around your facility? Are you willing to consider speed bumps? And would you consider a different location that's more industrial, not in the middle of a residential neighborhood?
There are certain requirements that we need to have through the Department of Health with how a facility is set up for security for deliveries and security for the patients also. Yeadon that is the location that we found in Yeadon. We feel very comfortable with, and we're approved by Yeadon and the Department of Health for the dispensary at that location. As far as speed bumps, we're willing to work with the township in any way to put speed bumps up, extra stop signs up. We've done it at other locations, even parking for our patients, and adjusted some different, some routes down in Philadelphia. I'm trying to figure out the security in and around the dispensary. Again, it is a 24-hour monitored security system, and at our Yeadon location, or at all of our locations, we will have 24-hour guards on duty as well that patrol the perimeter and the inside of the buildings.
And the dispensaries themselves, I mean, this is number 6, but the other 5 are a mix of urban and somewhat rural areas that have a mix of traffic, and there's never been a problem with an increased traffic that changed the demographic of the area in terms of how traffic flowed. There's never been an increase in terms of crime around the dispensary. There's never been any incidents in terms of—
Rob, hold off 1 second, okay? Just stand by, stand by.
Something that was good to the community. We should have all we come out and vote. We walk the streets for people to make sure everything was all right. We had an incident years ago, right here next to the borough, where that man got murdered coming out. Next to a drum house, because that's what's coming. We got children that's going to be walking down Church Lane. We got this should not have taken place. Every elected official rocking all and walking the streets for years, cleaning up this community because we had in the drug house. We got drug houses back on our blocks. We got people coming in this community, dropping off drugs every single night, and the police are aware of it, and we don't even see them coming down our street. And now we got a drug house coming. It's not right. We need to all be out here. And somebody has to fight for it. Let's get ready to take this, not fight for our children. And it's wrong. And say that there is for the benefit. I looked on Elvis Park and thought, oh, your brother, I'm the president of Athens High School. It is not in their community. Baltimore Heights is not in their community. It's not right.
I apologize for no, I'm out of turn, but I've been in over 35 years. And my concern is communication. Why do I have to get something on next door neighbor saying, and this is going on? You know, let the news about this, the mayor knew about this, and I'm holding you, Mr. Mayor, and tell the responsible. You got this happening, we're going to fuck you out. This is wrong. This is wrong.
See, this is our community,
okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm like you guys. All right? I make a lot of support on board by this. Okay? I'm one of them. All right? So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I need you to please take a breath. All right? The more we talk over ourselves, the more we're loud, we're going to miss the opportunity to do something we need to do. Okay? So I'm going to address some of the things I can tell you from the police department's perspective. All right? Because church, I'm going to say that here. Here's the deal, all right? Church Lane is a very, very important part for me because of the nonsense that goes on with traffic accidents and everything else. The location, the reason why this location was chosen, the only thing I can come into my head, all right, is right now the federal government does not recognize marijuana as a lawful thing. All right? States can make it lawful for medical purposes. Some states have made it lawful for recreational purposes. When you walk into a dispensary, you can't use a credit card to buy it. You gotta buy it cash. All right? Well, you gotta go in, you gotta pay cash, all right? Because the feds won't let the money go through the banking system at this point. All right? Just bear with me, all right? One of the other parameters for a medical marijuana dispensary can't be, because the federal government doesn't recognize it, they can't just put it anywhere. When I say anywhere, it can't be within 1,000 feet of a school or daycare. So, like you, I would have been, this would have been a great spot, they put over like the Big Plaza or somewhere over there. The problem is over there, it's a daycare. All right? I hear you, please, I was out there measuring, all right? Because it was a way for me to find, they were under 1,000 feet, and we wouldn't be sitting here. All right, but they're over 1,000 feet from, and I didn't use the school, I heard someone say 3 blocks from the school, all right? St. Michael's is actually closer. St. Michael's is.
We got houses across the street. We got.
I hear you.
Right next door.
I hear you.
We're not going to sit there and have my property. And I'm going to sit there and watch them go there. And I'm already. We had so many accidents on Church Lane. The street in this place. And I'm not elementary school down the street, kids still in the area.
Well, like I know, here's the problem under Pennsylvania law, all right? A medical marijuana, I know you don't want to hear this, all right? But again, thank you. A medical marijuana dispensary is considered like a pharmacy in the state of Pennsylvania.
Why we put it here right
I hear you, all right? Don't shoot the messenger, all right?
Well, wait a minute, why they not here?
Well,
Why they on the street? I would like to sit there and talk to them face to face, okay?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'll be told that I 3 years ago, I was in Starbucks. All right, take a breath and calm, so you can hear the information.
Join the meeting.
You got I'm sorry. I hear you. I'm not disagreeing. All right. I'm just trying to give you information to let you know why and when. All right. I have no control over it. The council has no control.
You had one company, right? You can't work on need to get, this way is square out, okay? And you need to get it square out. It's not, this is terrible. This is going
Join the meeting.
People watching the bill. All right, but they're not done yet. So here's what you gotta understand, all right? The state of Pennsylvania has a lot of regulations related to these bills. So if they come in and they find something wrong, it doesn't open. All right? Walk over, all right? And again, I'm gonna say this over and over again. I'm with you on this. The mayor's with you on this. Council's with you on this. What you have to understand, locally, the state of Pennsylvania says they don't care. All right? The pharmacy, all right, they have a right to go into a zone that's zoned for business. So that's what the problem comes. Maybe it's the result of maybe we get percent of right? But here's what I'm trying to get across, okay? Lawfully, all right? This was not something that could go on the front of the zone here where you can come in and say what you want to say, all right? The one thing I will say, when I found out a couple weeks ago, the first one was the Starbucks. That messed up buying. The first one was the Starbucks, all right? And when I found out it was not,
Join the meeting.
to the gentlemen that were involved in the process, Mr. Stanley, Mr. Flowers, all right? And I did want to thank you for coming in today, these small meetings here. I know that they are hearing the same frustration, okay? But what I'm trying to get across to you is the certain areas of the borough that they could go to. All right, and for me, if there was a way for zoning for me to say, no, put it on church lane, I would street line after. Know this though, before it's first lane, right? I met with PennDOT last week, and they have agreed to do a lot of maintenance and upgrades on the church lane. Because I am concerned about traffic that will be coming from the dispensary and other. I get it.
Questions here, and I would like Mr. Stanley to address them. He said in his comments, Mr. Stanley, he said, Mr. Stanley, you said that it was recommended to come to Yeadon. The question is, who recommended you come to Yeadon? And I said it was approved by Yeadon.
So the question is, who approved it? So can you answer those two questions, please?
Hold on. I'm going to allow emergency services to go through the process. And the chief is trying to explain. None of us have the legal right to deny this. Yeah, as the chief was trying to explain, none of us, I don't want to send you there.
Join the meeting.
You don't hear what they say they don't want to go.
Explain how this came about. We have another line as far as the regulations that I'm trying to give you information. There are some of the communities that marijuana dispensaries are in. What
So we got taxation without representation. You understand what's going on here?
And Mayor, we're not here to go to that. We're here to support. It's something that we do not want. But before moving, can we ask? We charge the council, we don't know about it.
Okay, as a councilwoman, Selena those words, I had no idea that this is just this plan. Okay, I was told my next door neighbor, I found out the next door neighbor, and he's calling me. Okay, I had no input about these dispensaries. I had, it came up on council, but it was in the damn place. It was their place. So just like they talk about Starbucks, you know, I thought he was gonna be Starbucks. I had no idea. Okay, I'm very disappointed that I'm very disappointed. I have children in this community. I love this community. My neighbors don't want it here. I don't want it here. Okay, but I'm equally disappointed in the leadership of the council because we should have. So, the council, if you heard, I guess myself in another county state. Okay, and then council members, they should have all the dollars. I should have next door neighbor that he was approved last year.
The picking it was for the young man, this first came to council last year, 2020 September, okay? You know that we had no closed meetings the whole year of 2020 because of the pandemic. I'm liaison with the code department along with the zone. So everything comes through code. I had no meetings because leadership canceled meetings, okay? So when we found out about this, me personally, on sitting at a meeting was September 2020, and we were told that this facility was thinking about coming to Yeadon. And they were going to file an application. That's when dialogue took place, extensive dialogue. Specifically, we did not want it, period. Why are we using that location as opposed to the location over at Chester Avenue where the wellness center is? Yes. This is the pharmacy, just trying to make it a medical hub and take it over there next to the wellness center in the city. It's not. You can't say. So there's more. So you should the process is going, we not actually want it. Because it's done right there. It's done. Now all we can do right now is move forward. So basically, our things are tied. No, you're not listening. Not listening. We have 88 years. As long as that facility is sitting there within 100 feet. So if someone wants to sell a building or church land in that little commercial area, they won't be able to open up any daycares at all. Is that fair? No. It's not fair. And I'm not gonna be I'm not going to do this is wrong. It's not
Right, I just want to know my name, so I know her, and I am the zoning officer over Borough. Okay. What happened in August of 2020, Ms. Borough said, yes, it came to the borough. It was mentioned, so in August, October, September, and December on my report that I gave every month in 2020. It's one report. Zoning, each municipality has a different zone. The gentleman applied for zoning in that district, which is the neighborhood commercial district. And as Mr. Borough said, it meets the criteria under the Yeadon Borough zoning code, which by law, it cannot be denied. It has to be approved because that's the zone now. Somebody get it denied. When this one gets turned out, it's going to be some decision.
I'm sorry, 1 second. 1 second. You have, there are 50 people online who say they can't hear. They want to hear the answer. I understand that. I'm just telling you, some of your neighbors are in quarantine too. But all I'm saying is, they're just asking if you want to hear what everybody's saying. They're just asking for everybody.
I understand how everyone. I used to live in Yeadon, but I had to move out with my wife. Certain things are allowed in that zone. As the chief said, it falls under the pharmaceutical. It is allowed in that neighborhood district. I was receiving the application, and when I got all the information, I turned it over to the solicitor because he is charged with representation of the borough. He reviewed it, and he looked at all the rules and regulations that the state sent out, and he agreed that it can be approved because it's allowed under zoning. When this came up about 10 years ago, most municipalities, they actually changed their zoning to make it be put in only specific locations. Yeadon Borough did not do that. But that's what most municipalities did. They put these zoning it only be in the industrial district or the regional commercial district. So what happens is
person, because I'm not going to finish.
Go ahead,
We don't have a business tax here in Yeadon. What is this business? Like, it's not to this borough. So what is the point of us supporting something that's not going to add any value to this community? Facility was going to add revenue, I might entertain it, but it's not going to do anything. So why are we waiting? We need to begin to build something that everyone can benefit from. Benefiting from this facility. That's not. It's not. We don't want it here and we're not getting it.
All three industrial parks.
Well, my point is, it's an industrial park. It's okay, fine, but that was my point. My point is they're putting something in this community that we're like, it's not even going to give us anything in return. Building of this community and an infrastructure that's going to help us, not hinder us. That's what I'm saying. So I don't understand the choice.
The point is,
Sorry, I'm not getting the question was answered.
I'm trying to do is, I'm not defending anybody. What I'm trying to do is get the whole community at large to look proactively, like here is the tax, like what you just said. They heard about it, they thought about it, they were proactive, and they were listening. It's time to start being proactive instead of reactive.
So
here's my biggest concern. I live on that. Here's my biggest concern. My concern is not for you, but it's for the police department. What are your contingency plans are? What is your plan to make sure that we don't have what we don't want coming into the community? Your job is to make sure the next thing is, I don't want people loitering in front of my house. I don't want any, essentially not. I don't want the traffic going about the wrong way. I don't want none of the things that I already have. So they become exacerbated 10 times over. So my thing is, I want the police department to give me what's your plan, so we can be proactive from this point forward. So I don't have the extra shit that comes with it. I don't want no water in my body, my steps. I don't want nobody talking double-sided. I don't want nobody driving the street the wrong way. Has a plan. That's the one. You can't stop this already here. So what's the plan holding the people who are stopping the road?
There's several questions for property values and alternatives. A couple of things, with the taxes, yeah, there's no business tax, or state, there is a current tax. So everyone who works in the borough is taxed, you get right here. And it's the same.
Well, it is.
I'll mention the question, one of my so there is a cost effect. The other thing is, again, I'd rather that not be there. That's not my desire. And also, this meeting just came out as a minute. No one else said it'll meet. I said it'll meet. Okay? So I said it this week. I said, so number three, what affects property values is, there's a couple of things. Number one, and I researched it, Googled it, the school district. School district is the number one thing that impacts, property values. It's a good school district, people flock in there, houses go around. Crime impacts property values. If the crime rate is up, nobody wants to move there. Crime, we have a good crime rate as far as that is. Number three, abandoned houses. If nothing is there, okay, the property values go down. When businesses move out, okay, and it's replaced by abandoned buildings, like it is now, abandoned houses, the property values go down, and life and everything else. So I don't know that business there, but the more businesses, as hey, listen, one of our best businesses is right here. They call it Light. Okay, we have a barn, okay, but half of it is more. What would we do with the policing? I'll let the chief answer that.
I am concerned about any kind of physical crime becoming a result.
What people do, they talk about that intersection at church and government for 23 years. Nobody shows up this way. Nobody. No police. Right? So don't talk about
I'll tell you, it's just like,
And all those communities is better than you, all right? So my concern is, this ain't New York, this ain't DC, this is a federal community, right? I don't have a police presence. I need to have a police presence as a deterrent, right? And I don't want to be involved in my own city, right? I don't want to have an element in my community that's potentially available to it.
I got it.
A lot of the fear is deterrent.
I got it. Because with all due respect, you obviously don't know who I am. You have not paid attention to anything I've done in this game. So let me say that. Here's what I've done, all right? Look at the stats of this game. You will not see us. We're doing all kinds of detailed information to find I might not live here, but this town matters to me. I'm not joking, but at the end of the day, look at the stats, and the stats are a direct result of the work the police officers do out there, right? We can't be everywhere 24/7. So what did I do? I got one of the senators to give us money so I can get cameras to turn, put a camera out there. And the cameras are down church, and I got compliments and you guys went back. I can only do so much with the money and the manpower that I have, but I wish I could ask about the flight control all the time. Let me finish. I ask about the flight control all the time. I ask about visibility. My problem is if I had a certain limited number of manpower, God forbid you're on the other side of town, something's going on, and he's got a pedal over there. When you get there, there's 2 minutes in the car. That's the problem with playing. You don't have to look for the car in the car. Officers around here, the one thing that has happened since I got here, is whole volume is going up. Because everybody is not fearful to call 911 and get insults. All right, I have programs out there right now. My mission monitoring program, my operation council, assistant police everything. Because we can't do it all. The one thing that you judge a community by is not by the other community. And right now, I love this city. And I will play a different with you that you've never seen. All right, I'm out there in an unmarked car every day. I think university is something well, guess what? Honestly, if I had to go for free, okay?
Us who are protesting this. Next door neighbor set up our own protest meetings. Figure out ourselves if we want to boycott, if we want to picket. That's what this arrangement is not helping us close this day. So what we want to do, us that are in this room, is keep this from opening on Church Way. set up what we have to set up and get to that.
There are people who have questions that people are asking, some still want their questions to ask. Okay, so, Mr. Stanley, here's a question for you. Would you be willing to consider changing the location of this dispensary?
Hold on.
So I think the question was, would we consider moving the dispensary?
Yes, the question is whether you would consider.
The purchase is already complete of the dispensary, and then work has already started inside of the dispensary.
So is the answer?
So the answer is no, that you would not be willing to change the location of this dispensary?
We can't change the location of the dispensary. It's already purchased. The purchase is complete.
So I understand you said there was a purchase made, but you could also put something else there. So clearly from the community, they don't want to see it here, and especially in the location that you purchased. So the question is, could you move it somewhere else? So that's just a yes or no question, sir.
I can only hear every other word that is being said. I want to hear and answer your question, but I can't understand what was even being said after that.
The question is, would you be willing to change the location of your dispensary? I understand that a purchase was made.
Join the meeting.
Everyone understands that in the room, but you could also put something else there. So many of the constituents here in the room everyone is against it, including the mayor. So the question is, based on the feedback from 100 people who are here tonight, whether you would consider moving the location of the dispensary and putting something else there, or selling the property.
That's right.
Right now, as far as the location of the
no, if you would be willing to consider changing the location of the dispensary.
Or sell the property.
Or sell the property.
right now, that is not something that we have discussed, and that's something that we can discuss as a company.
So did you say that's something you can discuss?
No, right now, that is not something that is being discussed, and I don't know when it is. Like I said, the purchase is made, work is being done, and that is the location that we plan to open and to be a good neighbor. We don't come in here to open a dispensary and let it go, and whatever happens may happen. We put a lot back into the communities, a lot back into the schools, a lot neighborhood development.
Okay, so the answer is no, correct?
Not as of right now.
Not at this time. Okay. The next question is, what is the benefit to Yeadon if you're not paying taxes to Yeadon? Is that correct? Will you be paying business taxes to Yeadon?
We pay taxes to every location that we're in, every township. As I
Sir, the question is, are you going to be paying business taxes? And if not, what is the benefit to Yeadon with the dispensary coming in?
We pay business taxes to Yeadon, we pay property taxes to Yeadon, we pay taxes across the board to Yeadon. Those taxes that we pay, every location that we have, an extreme amount back to the community itself, whether it be outreach, we do stuff with the schools. We're actually doing something with a school in Chester, which doesn't even have anything to do with where our dispensaries are located, because it has. So we do a lot back with, like I said, the communities itself, the local police departments, the fire departments, and also the school districts.
Sir, there's another question, whether or not you plan to have a drive-through.
That is part of the plans right now, yes. But we only limit, with the drive-through, it is limited to a certain amount of cars per every half hour. It's not something that people can just drive up and take it. They're only allowed to do call-ahead ordering, and it's limited to that amount of cars per half hour. We have that in our Pottstown location now, that we implemented to deal with the traffic patterns up there. They're located on a main busy street as well.
Did anyone do a traffic study based on what you're saying?
So the answer is they are going to have a number of cars for every hour. Sir, was a traffic study done based upon the fact that you're having a drive-through?
There's no study done, but like I said, we limit the amount of cars that go through each thing. We only limit five cars per half hour at our Pottstown location now.
Okay, so how are you going to limit the cars per every half hour? Is somebody going to be out there standing there?
Somebody's out there. We have signs out there. We do have security that will be out there, and then you're only allowed to call ahead to put an order through the drive-through. You can't do it online.
I'm sorry, sir. Many people could not hear your answer. Can you please repeat the answer regarding how you're going to
limiting 5 cars
every half hour when there was no traffic study done?
I didn't hear I heard the last part of that.
Yeah, I'm going to put the question in the chat
so you can read it. That might be easier.
Thank you.
Oh, can you come over? I can't hear you.
The managed of the 5 cars is we manage that as a dispensary. We have security outside, also signage outside, and it's a dedicated for the drive-through window that we have. It's not just a regular open road. And we only take a certain overhead orders per half hour to regulate those 5 cars that are out, so there's not a backup of cars. We've been doing it for almost a year at our Pottstown location.
Okay.
Sir, can you please just repeat that? Only the Borough could hear you.
There's about 100 people in here. They couldn't hear you.
Can you just repeat the answers to the questions about how you're going to manage 5 cars every half hour, and somebody to be outside, and if there was no traffic study done, that's something that you'd be willing to do?
That's the Again, someone will be outside. We have our security guards that will be outside managing the cars that come in and out of our driveways. We have a separate parking lot, and then there's a separate dedicated drive-through lane that will come through. The people that are ordering can only order over the phone. They can't just drive up. They can't order online, and we limit those orders to 5 per hour.
What are we gonna do as far as having operational plan to keep traffic under control and in check in all by 6 My point is, if we don't have a concise plan from the police department, then we're gonna have people already going down. We have to have a comprehensive plan for the police department to handle all of the people that are going to be anticipated, that you don't anticipate based on the just further away. So I come down my block, and I got people double walk or walking across, waiting for the turn. What's going to be our work? How do we resolve all the foot traffic and all of the car traffic? We have to have a comprehensive plan. Because the congestion of all the church lane right now.
I agree with you 100%. The one thing you gotta know is that if it takes me to also be out there doing it on the foot, I'll be on foot out there. So I hear what you're saying. I get it loud and clear because I've been doing it for a long time.
I didn't say that you're good. I didn't say that you're good.
No, I've done it. That's the thing. That's the difference with me. I've done it. And what I'm trying to get across is I recognize that the church lane, I recognize the church lane part. Okay, let me finish. You can't just keep talking over me, all right? If you want to hear the answer, you gotta let me speak, all right? I work with PennDOT. There's only so much I can do with the state highway. But I'm cognizant of the fact that number one, when they start doing their drive-through purchases, that it could probably create chaos down church lane. I'm aware of that. So let me finish so you know where I'm coming from. I dealt with PennDOT in an effort to potentially turn some traffic lights into other locations along church lane to slow traffic down, stop the potential for people getting hurt, stop the residents living on church lane from cars being destroyed every weekend. All right? But I'm going to say this, I'm not God. All right? I only have, and you can shake your head to your blue in face, but you know what? I'm a very matter of fact guy. So much. I still have to have you guys help me. So at the end of the day, I'm going to keep a complete eye on this place. And believe me, all right? I can't hear you. I'm working with you now. I'm working with, I just here's what you're missing, all right? I met with PennDOT, I think it was last Friday. Since I've been here, as I drive around on a daily basis, I look at various things. Church lane is a priority for me. They say they have to see a police officer. Because of the accidents in the water church lane, I run DUI details in that road. Because 90% of the accidents that we have on church lane are DUI related. All right, so what do? I don't just sit back and say, oh, he drives drunk down church lane. No, I put the detail together, all right, to catch people, to put deterrents out there. I hit it hard, all right? Follow me on some of the things that I'm doing, and you'll see. I dare you. Wait, I didn't. I'm not going to let it get out of hand. If we can't stop them going there and they won't move, I'm going to have to deal with it. But that doesn't mean I turn my head the other way. I'll make sure that your quality of life exists if you live across the street from the way to the bus stop. All right? So the one thing, if you don't know me by now, I'm not a fat guy. You're missing the bigger picture here, all right? You need to follow and see what I say and what I do, because I don't just talk and not back it up, all right? I'll be out there, I'll be making sure that if there's problems, I'm gonna be knocking on the door, I'm gonna be saying, what are you gonna help me out with here to fix this? Because I can't detail cops there every day. So you're gonna have to, because I gotta be able to protect you at the same time.
I'm sorry, Chief Taylor said they can't hear the keyboard, so you may need to talk into the computer. But,
Mr. Stanley, I put several questions in the chat. So could you just take a look and then just read them? Because I think you said that you couldn't hear me. So several people are asking why you didn't have a meeting with the community before you started building. And also, what are the hours of the dispensary? When will they be open? And is it gonna be 7 days a week? So if you can address those two questions, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure. We welcome the chance to talk to everybody, but the hours of the dispensary are Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and then Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. As far as having a meeting before, it's like I said, we're looking for locations that were approved by the Department of Health for us to have. And then would that fit within all those regulations as far as the distance away from schools, daycares? And that's why this location is an optimal location for us, because of it being also a secure facility. Is there a question directed?
Yeah.
The only thing I see from Dawn is the planned date, and it's towards the end of this year, beginning of next year.
I want to thank everybody for coming. I want to thank Mr. Flowers and Mrs. Stanley for Lisa Tucker and answering those questions. So thank you for coming on the line and making yourself available. I think what our residents are saying, if that location could be moved to the industrial park or the big wall, it would go over better in our community, but that's a conversation I think we can have after this one. So thanks for coming online, all right? Appreciate it. Thanks for all those who streamed into our meeting, and we're going to close our meeting at this time.